Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 4 of PGIM India Mutual Fund presents Live Mint, Amend, Adjust, and Adapt. This is a series of high-powered panel discussions that we have been doing to try and figure out the success mantras for the new normal in the post-COVID world. And if, like me, you're wondering when the post-COVID world is coming, I'm afraid that we don't have a clear answer to, but we can try and tell you how to cope, and that's what we've been trying to do here. Today, in this particular episode, we're going to take a look at leadership in these turbulent times, both leadership and how you can motivate yourself. Mr. Sabharwal, at team leads and the other teams, like, what are you doing to, is the team at team leads being able to come together? How are you talking to them? What are you doing to motivate them? And how do you think leadership should be displayed at a time like this?
No, I think the most complicated part is, a leader is a dealer in hope, but hope is not a strategy. And we all are sort of, as you said, it's unmodelable. We don't know whether we are at the start, middle, or end of the virus, and that makes planning really hard. But, we're all in the same storm, but we're not all in the same boat. I mean, digital learning has been brought from 2030 to 2020 in 90 days. Digital payments, their destiny has been brought forward. So some of our businesses are really benefiting from the digitalization super cycle. So my sense is that, modern science will end in 90 days or 180 days or 365 days. I don't think it's going longer than that. So all we can do is make sure that real capital and real talent are allocated to our biggest opportunities. And it's that sort of, as Pulela said, that, his team is getting mentally and physically fitter than they have ever been. That's what companies like us are using this time of reflection and stepping back to sort of reallocate capital and talent to our biggest opportunities. But fundamentally, all of us, till we know whether we're at the start, middle, or the end of the virus, are all sort of winging it every day.
The end of the office and the start of a new way of working from home. Now, many people are saying exactly what you said, that it's actually far more viable than you once thought it was. And that's partly because of exactly what you're saying. If you can be on a Zoom or a Google Meet or whatever, see people's faces, be able to interact on groups like this, the need to go to office is less. Advantage one. Advantage two, you're saving on commute time. That's another big one. Getting women into the workspace, third very major advantage. Climate change and the impact on pollution and what we are doing to, all of that, another major advantage. But there are other things and challenges that will have to be dealt with. For example, this is one of the things that we, for example, are finding, that the divide in, do people have big enough homes? It's all very easy to say, let's work from home and you've got a nice, when you've got a room which is private. But what if your employees in a one-room house, sharing with children and sharing with parents and sharing with others? Not that easy to look at that person and say work from home. So then what happens? Does everyone leave the cities and go off back to places where they can be connected and everyone has a big home? That's why.
First of all, you have to recognize 90% of our labor force can't work from home. So this cognitive elite ayatollahs who, are talking about between 5 and 10% of the labor force. If you work with your hands and legs, you can't work from home. If you work with your mind, you can work from home.
Farming and agriculture, you can't work from home.
Yeah, so 90%. No, salespeople can't work from home. The three fastest growing segments of India's job market, sales, customer service, and logistics, can't work from home at the bottom of the pyramid. So let's be clear, we're talking about 10% of the labor force. The second thing is work from home so far has provided productivity. It's provided continuity. We don't know whether it's provided productivity. When Andrew Carnegie was once asked how many people work at US Steel, he said about half. Most people I know are saying about half of the people are productive. About half the people, if they are honest, they should apply for leave. So I think the net outcome of this is, for the cognitive elite, they will have to decide whether, because working from home has also become living at work. I think no partitions, no transitions, no pauses is not really good for mental health. So maybe we will conclude that, some partitions will be better. And for people at the bottom of the pyramid, they can't. And anyway, an argument against offices is an argument against cities, right? New York's GDP is equal to Russia. It only has 6% of the people and 0.00005% of the land. So there are some benefits to coming together. But where I will accept that this is a randomized control trial, which has which will take flexible workforces, flexible working, to from 5% of the labor force in India, which it was before, to about 15 or 20. But I don't think this is the end of employment. I don't think this is the end of offices. And I don't think it's the end of cities. You know, historians warn against a disease called presentism, right? Where you think today's circumstances are so special and so unique. So I think that we are not at the end of employment, offices or cities. We are at the cusp of an increase in flexibility for 10% of the labor force. 90% of the labor force cannot work from home.